There we go. Am I here? I'm here. All right. I was trying to be cool streamer guy, and then nothing happened. Ah. All right. We're working on. Let's clear out our bookmarks here, and let's share our stream. Shath we? We shath. Butter shots, shenanigans. Guys, anybody watch that or listen? Listen, I should say. Twitch.tv/cricket_, because I forgot my login for my old account and I can't stream in on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Streaming on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. So previously on Twitch, we set up a system for randomly spawning the player over the boards, and it looks like a little bit of the offsets maybe not quite right, but streaming on a jet plane. But you'll see it's spawning in different random spots. So now we're going to work on the camera stuff. Streaming on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. So let's call it camera spatial. And we'll put the camera inside there. So we were going to do some photos today. We're going to have a nice family photo shoot. My wife was looking forward to it. It was going to be her birthday present. And right now it's looking pretty crappy. Doesn't look like it's going to happen whatsoever. So that's pretty disappointing. All right, so we got the camera in here. Let's zoom out. There's the camera. Now, we want the camera to lock rotation around a 45-degree angle, right? So here's what we're going to do. Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. So what we're going to do is, let's look at, here's our height. It's our translation we're going to reset. Mayhaps not. Is it transform? No. Okay. Translation. Y. It's our y-axis. We want to block. No, that's the one we want to keep. 135. Oh, hang on. Okay. Why did that make us rotate downwards when we went 135? What? Bro. Brah. I don't understand. All right. So maybe we need to be a positive. There we go. Okay. Now, let's look at our translation. We want to zero ourselves out on the Z. Boop. And Maybe we need to be a little bit backwards. Oh, not that far. Too far. That's Y. Bloop. Bloop. And bloop. All right, there we go. All set. Y is upwards, right? So is positive up? Yes. Okay. And then we'll go back. Is that towards us or behind us? That's behind us. So we'll move this way. Now let us preview. Nothing. I wouldn't have it any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way. She's going to be a little picky, isn't she? Y. Let's bring the Y down. Leaving on a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Preview. Nothing. Is the camera active? Yeah, it is. Let's do, instead of orthogonal, let's do perspective. Nothing. Curiouser and curiouser. Mayhaps. I see the problem. Look at that. We're shooting up into the sky. We don't want to look at the sky. Maybe it is negative. That points us down. Now we need to rotate around. So 120 degrees. Oh, that was why that was there. So 180. We want to do a 180. Boop. Okay, now let's go back to our camera and preview. Okay, so let's put it on orthogonal. Blah! Okay, so we're kind of getting there. Now let's bring her down a little bit. Okay, let's not get too crazy. Bring her up. And one more time. Okay, so obviously this is not how we're going to be looking at the game. Now we want to rotate the camera spatial to be at these angles. Leaving on a jet plane. Something tacos, I don't know. On a jet plane. Don't know when I'll be back again. Look at this. Sexy. I wanna sex you up, up, up. Anybody? Anybody? Huh? Anybody really old? All right. So we have, somebody always hops in and starts watching me silently. Who is this person? Anyways, I appreciate it, dear viewer. But who are you? Who are you? All right, so how about we just set up a script to just rotate the camera at a specified amount, just to get some vomit mode inducing. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. What's the frequency, Kenneth? Is your Benzedrine? All right, so here we go. This is the test code here, but let's how can we just get a nice old rotation? Well, I guess we do it with process. Process delta. I was on the delta. I saw some things no man should ever see. So rotation. Frozen. Good sir, how are you? So we're doing the camera. We got it locked in that spatial. It's looking hot. Now we can just rotate every 135. Look at that. And what would be another 45 on top of a pure 135. And let's think about this. So if 180 would be fully to the back, which is not what we want, plus another 45, so that would make it 225, right? So there's our other angle. And then 360 would be facing the front. Oh, no. Oh, that's 260. So we're back to the front. So minus 45 would put us at 215, right? 315. Okay, so those are our sides. But what we're going to do right now is we're just going to set up. Maybe we could just do an initial. Let's just do a tween. And I don't have Godot 3.5 on, but I should, because the tweening steps right here would be way easier now. But right now I'm going to do it the old way, because I'm set in my ways. And we're going to tween. How do you call it? So there's tween something. Is processing. I don't even remember. Well, that's going to mean I need to, let's download let's download the latest. Is it Godot org? Don't be a porn site. It's GodotEngine.org. Don't be porn. Nice. Yeah, there's a couple of cool things. There's they just added billboards for text labels in 3D, which is now something suddenly I care about. So I'm like, yeah. Let's see. Standard version 3.5. And I hear it's real slow to download on the main site. But we'll do that so that my stream doesn't get all janky. By the way, if you've noticed, the stream has been running smooth as silk lately. That's because I got my new internet router, if you want to call it that. I mean, I guess it's a modem, although technically it's not even that anymore. Internet device, let's call it. And yeah, the streams have been going great ever since that. I will be getting, it's going to take a year, but fiber, apparently where I'm at, of Idaho of all things. It's not even, and when I was in California, you'd think California's this advanced place. No fiber anywhere. Not anywhere outside of like San Fran and all that stuff. But fiber optic here, the cable's been laid, it's been sitting there. So the last mile, so it's going to take a year to get the last mile to my house. And last mile is just, they just tunnel and put the line up into your house. But I'm on a waiting list for that. And I'll have fiber optic, and I'm not doing the full 1,000 up and down, but I'll have, what is it? It's 600 down, 400 up. And I'm not, man, once I have that, whew, I can, man, I don't care. Like, I don't care that it's not the full 1,000. I could get it, but I don't want to pay that much for it. It's actually, and it's still cheaper. It's cheaper than anything I was paying in California. It's still cheaper than anything I was paying in California. We have no fiber. Nearest is about 40 miles away. Serves me right for living in a remote village. Yeah, but internet tech's getting better, man. So, I mean, you remember the days of dial-up, right? Interpolate property. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to interpolate the property of our camera spatial. And it's going to be the position. And we're going to set it to... Man, do I remember the pattern completely? Node property initial value is whatever it is currently. So we'll just say camera spatial dot... position, and then we're going to change it to camera spatial position position times plus, it'll be plus, and we're gonna do plus 45 times 3. So we're going to do 3 full rotations. Final val, initial val, duration. Let's take, we'll do this in 10 seconds. So this is going to go real slow. And let's make sure our initial value, so our initial value is going to be here. Is this going to work right away? Blah. Invalid get index position. So is it not position in, no, it isn't. It's transform. So it's not position. Oh, man. Rosen says, I remember dial-up. Downloading dodgy software over 2 to 3 days and then finding out it wasn't what you thought you were downloading. Oh, yeah. And then you'd get like really cool software, because this is what was cool back in the day, that would let you throttle the download and pause the download. And if the site supported that, then you could throttle and pause. And so you could turn off the internet and come back to it later and not have to like be able to still use the internet basically while the download was happening and not have your whole internet basically just go down in the dumps. Do you remember, I don't know if you had anything like this. For a good while in the States, there was a lot of free internet providers. There was NetZero, and they would play ads when you would connect and disconnect. And you'd have free internet. That existed for a while. And then they had these weird technologies for dial-up that would do ISP side compression, where you could enable it so that the number that you're connecting to on the server side from the ISP, the images and everything from the websites you were pulling in would be compressed by certain like limits. Why is my one eye going this way? What is that about? I guess I'm so close to the screen. But yeah, that was also kind of some cool tech for the limitation of the. That was actually one of the reasons, because I'm a crazy libertarian, but that was one of the reasons why I was really opposed. There was the idea of not allowing for data throttling or anything like that. And I believe that's a huge mistake when it comes to the internet. All internet traffic from across the internet is shaped. And if you pass a law that says, no, you cannot shape the traffic, you're going to create all kinds of problems, especially given certain types of technologies like cable internet and stuff like that. They work off of big hubs in the neighborhoods. If you cannot throttle somebody else, then you run the risk of the entire neighborhood going down because some kid's just running BitTorrent off their network connection and destroying the entire neighborhood. Because there's also this presumption that like there's just unlimited internet. And it's like, no, that's actually not how it works. I remember there's some politician that got made fun of because he said the internet is like a series of pipes. But it literally is like a series of pipes. Traffic on the internet is like water through a pipe. And you can only have so much water traveling through that pipe. So, and they literally, like when you're in an ISP, I worked at an ISP, we called them pipes. Like, you think of them as pipes. Maybe he said a series of tubes. I think he said a series of tubes, but it's the same concept. Anyways, but he was still an idiot. Okay, so we're not changing position. What we are changing is rotation degrees. Okay, so let's see. That's going to be in the transform of the spatial. Let's go to spatial. Okay. Spatial. Then one of the most frustrating things is when you watch any representative of any form of government talk about something that you know, and you realize how little they know, and it's like, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Yeah, it's amazing, man. And the internet's this wonderful, completely cooperative system. It's the perfect example of voluntary it's just like, it's amazing. And the internet breaks when that openness is locked down. It doesn't work if you try to lock that stuff down. That's the crazy thing about it. That's the only way it can work. It can't work under like tight controls and things like that. It will literally fall apart. Okay. Transform. Is it translation? The translation. Let's go back over to, so we have scale, translation. So transform, but then we have this rotation degrees and there's scale. Let's look up the word rotation. Global rotate. Rotates the global world transformation around an axis. The vector 3 is the axis. The float is the angle. The rotation axis is in global coordinate systems. Here we go. Rotation degrees. Rotate part of the local transform in degrees. Specified in terms of Euler angles in the format. Okay, so I think if we do this, so we're not going to be tweening. We won't be interpolating a property. We'll be interpolating a method. And the method is called rotation degrees. And the value we'll pass is something. There's a get and a setter of it. So we're going to run this on set rotation degrees. And then we're going to use get rotation degrees for initial point. So just straight up rotation degrees. And then our new position will be rotation degrees plus a vector 3 that contains a 0. And then that's the y that we're going to be changing. And then another 0 for the z, as they say in Canada and elsewhere in the world. And let's see. Okay, so nothing happened. Let's look. See what our math does. We'll print out our initial rotation degrees. And then we'll take this. Yeah, remember everyone said the internet was going to get slower because they didn't pass that law. Z rubbish. But what's with the D? What's with the D? What's that about? You know what's funny is no jet plane. I feel betrayed. Colts. People make fun of that, but letters have names. There's the letter sound, and then there's the letter name. The letter name can be whatever it wants to be. So Z is fine. And that's the funny thing. I asked the question why, and that's the silly part. Interpolate method. So what am I doing wrong with interpolate method? Set rotation degrees. So this is going to be called every... Oh, you know what we didn't do? We didn't start the tween. And this is why I got to get 3.5 downloaded, because already I'm feeling like an old man. Set in my ways. There we go! Woohoo! Okay. So we can rotate the camera, and now what we can do is we can fixate the camera very easily. Okay, so we didn't go full. So maybe does need to be, so 45 times 3. So it's every 100 and, if we're already at a 45 degree angle, it would be every 100 and, every 90 degrees. So let's see. I think it's every 90 degrees. So 90 times 3. Okay, so we're still going. Okay, so maybe it's 4. Is it 180? 180 is a full facing the other way. There's 4 corners. 90 plus 90 plus 90 plus 90. So I guess we do 4. I think I may have a game idea that I want to make, so planning on making a start soon. You want to talk about it? What is it? Colt, how you been doing? Jackal Gamer been playing around with Quado. What's Quado? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. You might be right about thinking in pi. Oh, I'm not changing the right thing. Here we go. I wasn't changing the right thing. Nothing was changing. That was my print statement. We can get rid of all these print statements because we got this working. So let's get all that out of here. So yeah, right now we're just practicing rotation. Next, once I get the full 360 going here, we're going to okay, so it is 4. So it's 4 times 90. That does our full four sides. And so it should appear to go a little bit faster. There we go. Hot! That's looking good. Now that we have this based around its own spatial, the camera is fixed in the spatial area for the camera spatial. So now all we have to do to rotate around an enemy or character, because in this game you can select which enemy or character you're going to rotate around. All we got to do is when we spawn the character randomly with this tool here, let's edit our stage a little bit. Let's go to our grid map and let's see. Let's get out of our preview and let's make ourselves not view things orthogonally right now. How do I? Here we go. We'll go to perspective and we're just going to erase some stuff here. Let's bring the floor up here. I think 6 is our height. So now we can erase some of this. Then we'll go down to 5 and erase these guys. Everyone's talking. Give me just a second. I'll catch up on the chat. Here we go. And bring that down. And we'll bring it down like this. So we'll just have a little like hillside thing here. So we're just testing some spawning stuff. Let's bring the camera out over here, back around over here. I don't know how to navigate in 3D in Godot yet. I'm going to be honest. I don't know how to do that. Oh my goodness. I'm getting pinged. So, Jackal, what have you been thinking about Godot so far? Frozen says he wants to make a platform adventure game with a pirate theme. Okay. I've updated my game with some catchy tunes, actually. Frozen, if you need, like, voiceover stuff, if you need, like, piratey sounds or voice, like, pirate dude noises or whatever, I can record some for you. It's a Quake map editor importer. Oh, okay. Jackal's been working on that. Colt says he's about to update again with adjusted volume and new sounds. Nice. Trench Broom plus Quodot and Godot equals a fast and easy map making for old school. Okay, I gotcha. It's pretty cool, he says. Right click and WASD to move around is the fastest method. Right click, WASD. Right click doesn't seem to be doing it. Whoa! What did that do? Okay, so I can bring the floor up and down with Q and E. But how do I push the camera around? Does it shift? That's to bring the camera up and down is shift. That brings the floor up and down, shift in the mouse wheel. Which actually is probably easier. Yeah, this is easier. Okay, so this is more organic looking. It's like a little mound of a hill. Bring the plane down here. Okay, so now we have like kind of a cool 3D space to rotate around and spawn our player character in a random spot on it. So let's see what it looks like now when we run this. Yeah. So the player's there. He's kind of floating. His translation's a little off. We got to make some adjustments. But, and we got to trigger to choose the way that I'm going to do the animation or the direction of the player, because right now he's always facing front. We're going to, based on it would be based on the angle of the spatial information of the camera, but the player character will draw, so we'll have a grid of directions that we'll pick from, and we'll just shift where we are in that array to have the character pointing the correct direction based off of what angle the camera is looking at it from. Right now it's always showing the same side of the character. What are those lights coming from? I have no idea. It's pretty cool though. I have no idea, dude. Hold right click middle mouse to pan. Oh, okay. Or rotate. Trench boom is middle mouse button to pan. Okay. I know. I'm messing around with it. I want to make Final Fantasy Tactics, guys. So I am still working. Here's the deal. I am still working on the hexagon matching game. That's still happening. I have a video that I made. I guess I could show you the video that I've done so far, if you guys promise not to judge me. Actually mention you, Bit Bionic, in the video. But I want this video to go up with the next release. And let me download the video. This is only the 720p version of it, so it's not the high. It's not going to be the highest quality, and it's not done yet. But I also don't have to show it on the stream if you guys don't want to see it. Right click and WASD is how to fly around the 3D space. Okay, right click, WASD. No, it's not doing it for me for some reason. Maybe it's middle mouse and WASD. No, left mouse. No. Right click and WASD. No, no. Maybe both. I don't know why that's not working for me. I'm not doing anything fancy for devlog videos. I'll tell you that ahead of time. I'm just doing like hold right click. I am holding right click. I swear I'm holding right click. It's not doing it. Here, look. I'm holding it. Nothing. I don't know. All right. I got to capture this. I got to get a screenshot of this. Is it Windows key G to do the gamer record thing? I don't know where that lighting is coming from. I guess it's not. Xbox. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll capture it with OBS. Holding right click should like it. Yeah, it might be something on my settings. Let me so we're gonna record this really quick. I'm gonna start recording. This might mess up the stream, I don't know. But I want to show my buddy this, so look at that camera rotation. Yeah, we're a little choppy now because I'm streaming and encoding a video at the same time. But look at that rotation. It's hot. Yeah. All right. Stop recording. Okay, the recording is done. Hopefully I didn't ruin the stream. And I'm going to send this to him because I'm trying to get him psyched. Trying to get him psyched about this. Where did it put it? Did it put it in documents? Windows key up. Whoa, no, that's not it. This PC. Is it in videos? Is there a video? Yeah, there's videos. And what is today? The 5th? Yeah, it is. Okay. Sending it to my buddy. Why is it... Oh, it's compressed into... I'm not using 3.5. Let me get that installed. I have it downloaded. I just don't have it installed. You might not be able to watch this video. Did it record? Recording. This might mess up the stream. I don't know. Okay, it's fine. We're good. Okay. Colt. Leave me alone, Colt. All right. Give me a second. I'll get it going. Fine. Gosh. You guys. And let's see. I got to put this on the desktop. We're going to just extract all. Well, this is like the thing I'm worried about. Well, 3.5 isn't jumping to 5, so we should be okay. Let's go back. And we're going to call it Godot. Just straight up Godot. And it'll be Godot underscore console. And then we'll put this on the desktop. Place. There we go. Now let's reopen Godot. And Windows is going to freak out. Be like, what is this crap? All right. Let's go back over here. We'll open it up here. And we're on 3.5 now. Retry. Now we're connected. And we're back in business, boys. Let's try that trick for rotation now. You know what it might have been? WASD. Right click, WASD. There we go. I don't know. 3.5 fixed it. So you can see the spatial for the camera. Is in here, right? So now what we can do is we can lock the origin of the spatial around our player character, and the camera will rotate around that character, right? So what we have here at the beginning of the script here is we're just randomly spawning the character on top of any point on the map. So we're just picking a random point and then we're placing them on top, right? So now we have, how do we set a fixed space for, I suppose what we could do is on the, it's additive, right? All we need to do is add. So in theory, we just say, the transform. So we have this rotation degrees. That's not what we care about. What we care about is this origin. So if we set the camera spatial dot transform dot origin to equal the same as our this sprite, we should be centered on the player character. If yeah, so now we're centered around the player character. The rotation is happening around them. We should all be using. Oh man, the chat. One of us. All right, so I'm on 3.5. I'm not using 4 alpha. I'm going to wait. Obsidian. Now Obsidian's joining in. So now we're rotating around wherever our character is randomly spawning at. So, cool. I mean, so all the things that I'm worried about doing, Obsidian has done for me, basically, is what I'm saying. So you got to get your own Obsidian when you stream, guys. That's the trick. Colt says, the only thing stopping me from using 4 is there's no web exports. Are they doing, is that because they're going to do assembly? Are they doing web assembly? When beta hits, I'd say yes 4, but alpha, I'm going to wait till it's 4.1. I'll be honest. I just, so many changes are coming to it that I'd just wait for 4.1. GD4 is the Chuck Norris of Godot versions. Colt says we should all really be using Godot 5 really and skip 4. Jackal says yes. 5 is the 4th dimension of badassery. No, he didn't build the game, but he's basically guiding me through. I'm literally like a blind man going through 3D, and he's just like follow the sound of my voice, and I'm like, okay, and there's like the hubcap sound and everything, and then I'm picking myself up, and I'm like, I think I'm bleeding, and he's like, it's this way, keep going. Yeah, so okay, so we've got our camera locked at 45 degrees, looking down on this camera spatial. Then we move the origin of the camera spatial to whatever our player position is at. And then we set up right now just to test it. I'm interpolating, but now we don't have to do it this way, right? Because we got the new 3.5 stuff. So I've got to look up how to do that. But then we're just doing a quick tween on the method set rotation degrees from our starting rotation to 490 degree, which is really 360. So I really didn't need to do this. But we're rotating 360 degrees around the, what is it? I don't even know which one's the green one or which one's the, it's around the y-axis. That's right. Okay. So, yeah. So this is great. Now what I could start working on, I'm just busting out like, can I's, right? So we're not doing any of this with controls or anything yet. And just slapping out some code and seeing can I. But these are the big questions that I've had about doing this in 3D. And so we're just knocking out the things that I'm most concerned about. Can I, right? Something went dark in the chat. They've been using assembly since always, but the problem is there's no support for GL3 yet. I thought they had that ready for now, but it looks like it's still in the to-do. My guess is when 4 comes out, they'll probably have enough in the coffers to just dump some money on somebody to do the assembly part that they're needing to have done. BitBionic, do you have Obsidian locked in the basement, feeding him gruel and making him code your 3D game? It's the other way around. Yeah, I'm locked in the house with him. You're in my house. That's what he says. My phone will randomly ring and it'll be like, oh, it's from the president. And I answer it thinking, oh, it's the president. And then it's just him. And he's just like, I can see you. Nice shirt. And he's like, I see you're mowing the lawn. And I'm like, oh, how do you know? And he's got me delivering like these random packages to places. And I don't know why. Just reminded me of that song, Miss Murder. So I'm using this chatty program here for the Godot chat. And it's like old school. This is like, because Godot is using IRC. Or, IRC. So this is really just talking to the IRC side of things. But it's actually really cool. Oh, no, I wasn't supposed to say anything about the packages. Okay, so the next thing that I'm thinking about doing here is let's look at the sprite of the character. Let's show in File Manager. Then what's Windows going to do when I double click on it? Is it going to do something weird? No. Okay. So we got this. So here's what we're going to do. If we think about the character, the angle of the character here, there's 1, 2, 3. There's a lot of possible angles. Left. So we've got every angle front to back, but we need to mirror in order to do some of them. But there's a total of drawn in the sprite sheet. There would be a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 possible directions. We would need to mirror them depending in certain circumstances. But basically what we need to do is determine what direction the character is facing and then what direction the camera is facing them to then determine what of these sheets, which of the columns of these sheets we would use to draw the character with. Bionic looks suspiciously at the package that appeared on his porch. Yeah, bit of a spoiler here with some of the gear. If you haven't played Tactics, but so that could be the next thing that I work on. But I think I can do that, right? But that is some mathy stuff, and that is 3D stuff. And I think we would use some sort of. There's probably some vector thing that lets us figure out what direction something is facing. So the direction to something, and then we could say, so if we know the direction to something, how do we have like a facing direction? I mean, it could just be a pretend number that we're just storing. Well, I need to represent, because right now the player, if you think about what the camera is doing, in real life, this person would be going like this, so that the camera is always seeing them at the same side, you know? And so what I had to unwind my headphones. Doom-like sprite rotation. Oh, okay. Transform basis.z is the vector pointing in the direction of what? Okay, so that's what we want. Basis. Scale, rotation degrees. But basis. Transform basis. Okay, let's look up transform. Has anyone been looking at the Godot 4 docs? What? Basis from is a 3x3 matrix data type. So basis from, so we would do a basis on the vec3. And then we could do something with that. Okay. The basis is already in your node. It was with you the whole time. What are those? Why is there only one set of footprints? It's because I was with you the whole time. Basis. It's just not a property that shows in the property list. What? So how's it there? I was with you the whole time. Transform. It's right here. What are you talking about? There's literally a property called basis. The basis is your origin. Your origin is in transform.origin. Your basis is in transform basis. Okay. The basis is a matrix. What is the matrix? Containing 3 vector 3s as its columns. X-axis, Y-axis, and Z-axis. These vectors can be interpreted as the basis vectors of local coordinate system traveling with the object. I was with you the whole time. What the hell's a basis vector? Oh no! Linear algebra! Oh, that's a capital firm. We don't want that. Oh no! It's the local axis rotated with the object. I was with you the whole time. What is this? Math for ants? So the world axis never changes. Took me one course in uni. Uni? All right, fine. Time to go to Khan Academy. What do I need to learn in Khan Academy, guys? Khan! What's my password? There it is. Doxing my email address. Don't send me nudes. Con! So this is what I was setting up for myself. I was going to go through everything that I need to remember from math, which is basically all of it from the maths. But what else should I add here? There's linear algebra. So this is what I'm working towards. Learn all the linears. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be doing that right now, but I'll be hitting this up on Con. Sorry. Okay. But seriously, let's see what we got on our player right now. Let's just print it out. Con! You know, he gets made fun of his acting, but at that moment, he is acting. If you've seen the movie and you remember it, he's supposed to be acting in that moment. So he does that perfectly. Because he's faking it. He was faking it the whole time. So X, Y, and Z both have their initial guys. Think of it as a 3. Wait, this is helping me a lot. You don't need all the maths. You got Google for when you hit a wall. But I want to understand. Okay. All the linears, then all the trigs, and you can up all your calcs, derivatives, and integrals for everyone. Oh, speaking of calculus, let me show you guys something. Because this blew my mind, because I asked a friend, I was like, is this legit? Let me find it. There was a book written in 1911 that's public domain, and it's so great. Let me show you. I love it. It's got such a sense of humor too. It's called Calculus Made Easy. We're going to zoom in. Look at that symbol. That's some masonry stuff right there. But Calculus Made Easy, being a very simplest introduction to those beautiful methods of reckoning, which are generally called by the terrifying names of the differential calculus and the integral calculus. I love it. And then right into it, the dude just like, he's got a cool quote here, what one fool can do, another can. And then he just talks about, textbooks are written to sound smart, essentially, and like, considering how many fools can calculate, it's surprising that it should be thought of as either difficult or a tedious task for any other fool to learn how to master the same tricks. Some calculus tricks are quite easy. Some are enormously difficult. The fools who write the textbooks of advanced mathematics, and they are mostly clever fools, seldom take the trouble to show you how easy the easy calculations are. On the contrary, they seem to desire to impress you with their tremendous and cleverness by going about it in the most difficult way. And then it right away just starts off to deliver you from the preliminary terrors. This is so fucking funny. The preliminary terror, which chokes off most fifth form boys from even attempting to learn how to calculate, can be abolished once and for all by simply stating what is the meaning in common sense terms of the two principal symbols that are used in calculating. The dreadful symbols are D, which merely means a little bit of. Thus, dx means a little bit of x, or du means a little bit of. And I started reading this, and I'm like, holy crap, I can make sense of this stuff like really quick. But anyways, it's a great, like, for me, I've been starting to kind of read through it, and it's like actually makes a lot of sense. And I'm sure there's some reason why something about it isn't, it should really be taught this way because of some other reason. But it's great. I mean, it goes straight into like what I would see stuff like this and I'd just freak out about it. So if dx is a little bit of something, and this line symbol here means a sum, thus dx means the sum of all the little bits of x, or dt means the sum of all the little bits of t. Ordinary mathematicians call this symbol the integral of. But it's great. It's fantastic. And then it breaks down. It has real world examples of like why you would even do this. And it's just broken out this way in a really straightforward manner. So I'm totally going to just kind of read this when I'm on the John. It's great. It's a cool little book. Let me I'll put the link to it in the chat so that you guys can grab it if you want. But it's public domain. So it's probably on what's it called? Whatever that resource of books is. Here it is. Gosh, I can't remember the name. The Gutenberg Project? Let's see. If it's on Gutenberg, then it's translated into text. Let's see. I already spelled it wrong. There it is. So it's translated. It's got PDF. There's a text version of it. So somebody's written it with the math symbols and everything. I don't know that I can read text files. Text files. Let me see. No, see, you have to run it through a processor to make the actual. That's weird that they would have that, but not. Well, is the PDF? Let me see the PDF. Is this just a scan? No, it's the. Yeah, so they've got it. So this is completely searchable. And yeah, even the index is working here. So this is a better version of the book. But it's the same thing. It's completely. Oh man, this is great. I'm going to use that. Sorry, I'm getting totally distracted. I apologize. I make my best decisions on the throne. So we've got an enum. This is another code from Obsidian. It's like he's done everything that I'm wanting to do. I'm not convinced that Obsidian is real. I think he's an experiment in AI. And I'm not sure he's a real person. I think it's a machine. Yeah, text is like a markup language. Yeah, I think it was used to make the PDF, right? Yeah. Text, and I know text is like really like math driven for doing like the math symbols and things like that when you need to do like formulas and stuff. Like latex or latex. It's AI generation. He's that's probably some. I think Obsidian. That part of Obsidian is CGI. I'm a real doll. Oh no! All right. So we have an enum of angles. So this is the observer. Okay. So spatial material, billboard, fixed Y. Transparent is true. Okay, so that's just, all right. Angle from observer. Observer. Let's see. Where's the observer getting set? Set observer. Okay. So we set it there. And then active animation. Here's the, probably the meat of the stuff right here. Yeah. Well, and we're going to have to set up like mirroring and things like that as well. Because we're not going to, I'm not going to ask myself or whoever is going to end up making these animations to, I don't know that you can see that. Does that video work for you? Leaving on a jet plane. I'm going to change my record settings. I have my record settings to do a MP5 because they're way smaller in size, but I'm finding that I'm having a hell of a time. You can't editing MP5 and stuff. You just got to encode it back, so it's almost pointless. You can mirror in the animation. So you've got it. What happened to your code? What did I do with it? Let me close these ones out. And we'll close these ones out. Where did it go? Was I looking at this off stream? No. Another good math read is Lockhart's Lament. Okay, I'll check that out as well. Yeah, just do one today, and then we'll print it out on cardstock, and then laminate it. And it's, you know what? It's probably a good idea to have a couple of printouts and make some notes, add some things. Yeah, and then once it's kind of totally figured out, then we can laminate one. Oh my goodness! So you saw my message to mommy about the pictures? It's not going to be good lighting at all.
I was when saying no.
I know. Mama told me. Well, Trish, I mean, the rain will have just stopped. What is it, at 7 o'clock? And it's I don't know. Yeah, we can try. It's just the whole point of doing it at sunset was so that we had magic hour. And now it's going to be too dark because there's no sun and there's cloud cover. So we actually lose way more light than if we had just gone out in the middle of the day with like right now in the middle of the day kind of thing. You know what I mean? So okay. Well, I don't know. It's just right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. All right, I'm gonna check here. Animation offset. Add animation set. Animation name, frames, FPS, loop, offsets. Is this so do I add each animation set for each side? Is that how it works? For each angle? Tactics, yeah. BitBionic, it's going to be... I mean, ultimately, yeah, I would like to go for that kind of Octopath thing. I would love to do... Right, okay. I would love to do... Okay, so let me show you what I would... Here's what I would... Giving you the code for determining angle. Okay, that's great. So, Final Fantasy Tactics. This is exactly, let me show you exactly what I want it to look like. And I have some ideas about how we're going to do this. Final Fantasy Tactics, Japanese guide. Okay, so there's a very particular cover. If I can find it. Here it is. So this is like it looks like Papercraft. If you've played Tactics, you know that this is actually the opening level. And I'm guessing somebody modeled this out of wood or like some balsa or something. I'm not really sure. But if I can get a better scan of this somewhere. I had a really good scan of it at one point and I lost it. Oh, come on, Pinterest. Pinterest is the worst. I hate these parasitic websites that just steal from the internet and lock you in. Anyways, so this has like a Papercraft look. The actual game obviously didn't have this look. It was PS1 style. It was PS1 graphics. So, so it didn't look like this, but what I'd like to be able to do is get a real watercolor look for everything and maybe have some shaders on top of it. But even if you think about like some of the Yoshi's games with like the Papercraft, there's the latest Yoshi on Switch, I think has it. But have it, Pinterest got to make that cheddar. It's true. They got to make it by selling your information though, because there's no ads or anything. So, they're really using it to, they're selling your information somehow. That's the only way I could think that they're making any money. But anyways, yeah, something like this is what I would love for it to look like. And so for like a cardboard kind of paperish look to have that fuzziness and stuff, I'm sure that'll be material and so on. And like Obsidian said, rendering something like that in Blender should be possible. Yeah. So that's what I would love for it to really look like. I even like the extra depth they added to the actual stage here as well. And the little bird chocobo is really super cute. So what I'm imagining is not pixel art like this. What I'm imagining would look more like you made a character out of paper, painted, watercolored it. Yeah, I think it's just being smart about reusing textures. Like a lot, if you look at this, the brick textures could repeat. And if we're still using sharp angles and everything like that, the poly count would actually be really low. So yeah, it just depends on, and I have a feeling by the time I get anywhere to that point in the game, 4.1 is going to be out already. Yeah, but this is looking really good. It's looking hot. I mean, that's crazy how Okay, so instead of wasting time on my stream of actually trying to get the sprite information going, I guess what I could do is, why did we end up talking about calc? Because we were talking about getting, based on the direction the camera was facing and the direction the player character was facing, how do I know what side of the character to draw, basically? And yeah, this would be Doom style stuff here. So we're gonna ruthlessly steal this. And I guess I can just throw it into... Now, we're using Doom Sprite 3D. So this is on the whole sprite level. So what we could do is start to rip out some of this code that I've got here. And right. I know. I'm just putting it in there. Don't worry. With the Doom Sprite mine. That's exactly what we're going for. So what I really need to is I got to get a PS1 emulator on my computer so I can show you guys the game and like do some test plays on it and stuff like that. I have a copy of the game, so I won't be, hopefully nobody gets upset. Again, everything is just so straightforward so far. Extend spatial. Oh, we're in the wrong thing. This needs to go on our sprite. Anyways. So, and I'm not, you can see me just going through here and just like slapping things in and out. I mean their exact animations. Oh, okay. Is there something different about their animations? I didn't know that. All right, I've got a chair that's giving me some problems. What's everyone doing? Isn't it Friday? You guys got any plans tonight? Okay. So we can use set observer and use the camera spatial as the observer. So if we go sprite 3D, and then we pass camera spatial. And then we can run this private method angle from observer. Ooh, I got my idle thing working. Plans. Yes, plans. What is this return? Oh, you're using that to bail out. So let's just print this out on process. So does angle from observer return anything? No, but we've got active angle. Here we go. So let's print out active angle. And let's see what this does. So that's, okay, that's just active angle. Angle from observer. Should be on the process step. Let's do a debug on this. Okay, what's going on? Why isn't this getting hit? Have we not saved the scene? Hmm. Hmm. Well, we can get rid of that for now. Yeah, use okay, here we go. So now let's just run the game here and we'll look at the debugger down here. See, it's gonna get pissy about so we could a lot of this we're gonna tell it to just not do. Like all of this. Let's see if that 52. We don't need the offset. I just care about right now. All I care about is that. There we go. So yeah, it is adjusting properly. I mean, presumably. So here's my next question. Colt Penny said, I just made some Korean spicy ramen for me and my girlfriend. But based on the taste, I think this was not made with chicken. I think this was made not with chicken. But with so much spiciness that it's meant to represent the pain that the chicken suffers. I was wondering where that sentence was going. Spice with no flavor is just a terrible idea. I agree. Yeah, even I'll do the biscuits and gravy sometimes for breakfast. And I'm just like I don't know. Even my daughter notices because like I just when I'm making the gravy part, I put so much pepper in it, and like I'm salting the taste and all that kind of stuff, and it's just like it's crazy sometimes for flavoring. Although I guess would you say is pepper a spice? Would you say? And then what I like to do when I'm making it is I usually, because if you're doing like I'll just use the same pan as whatever if I'm doing like a sausage or whatever, I'll use the same pan. So I get all that meat juice. Yeah. And then I brown a little bit of flour in there. You gotta let it brown a little bit. Don't burn it. And then slowly add the milk in. I have a very different concept because here we cook with peppers. Well, yeah, and this is like crushed pepper, like the little balls. And then yeah, you definitely want to actually crush the pepper. You don't want pre-ground. Um, all that stuff. But man, I make a mean, like, I'm the breakfast king, but it's all just the bad stuff. I'm not good at like I um but I make Dutch babies. Oh. And Dutch babies are like really, you can go sweet with them or you can go savory. You can go any direction with them. So you could do like Dutch babies with just like a little bit of lemon and powdered sugar and uh um yeah, chili yeah. Stuffed pepper. Yep. Yeah, my wife makes some really good stuffed peppers. I love them. Yeah. Mm. Um But yeah, Dutch baby you could do bacon and cheese and like make it real like heart attack. Um if you want. And then it's funny because if you make it just plain, it bakes like this sombrero because you put it in a cast iron that you heat up and you throw it on and you pour it in and you have a little bit of uh whatever that butter is that has all the water removed from it. Ghee. And so you actually you throw in the batter into it when it's hot, so it sort of like starts to fry, and then you throw it in an oven. It's actually really easy to make. That's the thing I'm talking about, not the not stuffed peppers, but stuffed peppers are great too, and they are really easy to make. Stuffed peppers are really easy to make, and they're so good. It's a little time consuming, but it's not hard to make. Okay, so angle from observer is all I really care about. Everything else I'll do my own way. So like this animation set and all this, I might want to keep his code in here because I might want to see how he's doing what he's doing. But really this is all we care about right now. So my only other question is, how do I set the quote unquote angle of something? So if we consider bases, and it's chili Reno, right? Is that how you say it? You should try and get a recipe for chilies in Nogada. You don't know what you're missing if you haven't. Let me see what it looks like. Let's see. Ooh. Oh, is this like ooh, it's like a dessert. Oh. Ooh. What is this? What is this? What's this? What's this? The basis will take care of itself. I see what you're saying. That's why you're saying it was with us the whole time. It's a festive dish typically served in the month of September. September. Who sings that song? But it is salt and sweet in flavor. Okay. It just looks like a dessert. Cactus. Candied cactus. Whoa. So there's like regional differences in it. Oh, it's Earth, Wind, and Fire. Okay. Uh-oh. Obsidian's got a video. Don't be porn. Don't be porn. Ah, what's this? uh Pre-cooked pork. Blend, so you're throwing in, okay, so that's getting some sweet. Okay, so then you're getting, okay, onions, pork, then you're throwing that in. Okay, so this is like, okay. All right, then you got the peppers, got it, okay. All that's going. So where's this white sauce coming from? Okay, so then you're blending, okay, so it's, wow, it's walnuts. So walnut sauce. What the heck? Okay, then you stuff it. All right, we got to try this. Code and culinary. Okay, the white sauce is the Nogata. All right, if I'm saying that right. Wow. So, I mean, this mix alone would just be good to eat by itself. For sure. Because this is how they make rice, Mexican rice, right? You blend like the tomato and everything, and you throw that in with the rice. So I already know what that like base flavor is going to give you. And then you throw all this together. So it's kind of like this. The middle stuff is light, and then you got this like creamy walnut blend thing. Oh my gosh, pomegranates. That's what that is. Okay, so those are pomegranate seeds. Oh, wow. Man. Culinary code? It's like a play on words. It's like culinary is like food, anything dealing with preparation and making of food. And then code is obviously the programming. Okay, so I'm going to record video one more time for my buddy because I want him to see this. So we're gonna record this one more time so he'll be able to see it. I'm gonna hit play on here. We're gonna show the rotating camera. So there it is. So it's centered on the player and it's rotating around the scene. All right. So I'm stopping the recording. Now I'm gonna go send that to my buddy really quick. My buddy and me. And where's videos? There's videos. And come on, Windows. Why do you do this to me? Brah. Details. I need the details so I can see the date. Then I can sort by date. And then I can find the video. There it is. Notion. No. I have not. Is it because it's doing MKV? Windows, what are you doing to me? Why are you making me look a fool? Do I need to tell it to... Oh, I can't do it because I'm streaming. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to... The basis is a matrix of the direction of the thing in 3D space. If I'm understanding correctly, it is, so there's the coordinate space of where something is in space, in 3D space. So we got this Coke can, or here, okay, so we have those glasses, right? So this is the origin in transform is this, like where I am. And then the basis is like where I'm pointing at. Like, if I understand it correctly. Oh, it includes scale as well. So and that makes sense. It's a vector. I think, but again, don't trust me. Anybody in chat wants to correct me, go ahead. Because I'm learning this as I go. It's jazz. It's jazz programming. Okay, so what I mean is, how do you get the world's basis? Well, I don't think the world has a basis. The global, like everything does, but eventually you're going to have one parent container who's, it's kind of like outer space. Like, does the Earth rotate around the sun? But what does the sun rotate around, and so on and so forth. So if there's like the starting spatial, it too has its own basis or whatever, but it doesn't really matter. Is my stream dead? Let's see. But eventually you're going to have the like parent spatial node for everything else, right? Kind of like a node 2D. Like eventually there's going to be the one that's the, I don't know. But again, you could do, it doesn't, even the way I'm explaining that doesn't make any sense. No, I should end the stream, guys. I'm sorry for bailing. I promised to make tacos, and it's my wife's birthday coming up, and I gotta be... Now I can't do the photos, and everything's ruined. So I'm gonna make tacos. Right, okay. I'm sorry for cutting the stream short and everything. I hope everyone's doing well. But... Well, I said I was going to do it, though. Okay, we can try, sweetie. It's just... Alright. It's just going to be dark, and... It's... I mean... Okay. Okay, alright. Alright, guys, I gotta go. Yes, I do. Cheers from Mexico. Colt, hope to see you again. BitBionic, thanks for hanging out. I'm really sorry that this stream was short. I wasn't expecting so many people to be here, but I appreciate it. And yeah, much love, everybody. Let's raid somebody though. We got to raid somebody because we got quite a crowd. So let's go find somebody and man, why are we going so slow? Let's see. Category software game development. Let's find some Godot dudes. And beginner Godot development. Making a studying and learning tool for trigonometry. That sounds interesting. What do you guys think? I've become an influencer. All right. Okay, guys.
And
whoa.
Open source. So you get to own your own projects. No deals with the devil.
All right, we're going to raid.
Yeah,
all right, everybody. You guys have a good night. Much love.
I don't have perfect,
peace.
Good,
getting the raid started.
Be able to say,
in 3, 2.
Exactly how.
All right, see you guys tomorrow.
It is because I only use Godot. I never use